Mr. DR.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. It's 8 a.m. where I am at. I'm on the West Coast today. Feeling a little bit scratchy from the poor air quality out here.
Oh, yeah. That's a little rough.
We joked about the wildfires a little bit last time.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's been a week, so I've forgotten everything because that's what I do.
Yeah. Of course. But yeah, there's no fires near me, but it's the Central Valley, so it's kind of just pools in this part of the state. Man, yeah, I lived here for most of my life until moving a few years ago, and you don't really realize what you're breathing in until you get out and then you come back, It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I have a friend that lives in China, and it's like some of the cities are so bad there. It's like you have to move, basically.
Right. Yep.
It's rough.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the world of business and software and
yeah. Well, so I shipped a new revamp to the homepage this week. Got some love on Twitter for that.
I saw the screenshot, but I didn't know you actually shipped it live.
Yeah, so I teased it, and then probably in hindsight, it would have been better to just screenshot it after I pushed it live. I was just thinking about seeing the spike of traffic come in after people kind of sharing it around, and when they hit the website, of course, they see the old one, and that's not what that's ideally not what I wanted. So it got shared around for a little while, and then it got retweeted by someone with an even more substantial following than the previous retweets, and I was like, forget it, I'm just going to push this live because it was close enough anyways.
It looks good. Looks so good, dude.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like there's a future promise in here.
Yeah. So
I'm teasing a little something.
I did tease a little something. I've been kind of toying around with what's the next thing to add into the toolkit, and so I have a coming soon on payments, basically, as the next thing to add. And I know plenty of people who have used WordPress plugins, for example, to install simple payment buttons for one-off products they sell or whatever, taking pre-sales. This is kind of analogous to that, and I think the value delivery is pretty clear since you can kind of translate it to dollars. So I like that aspect of it. Still planning to do another round of kind of customer development calls, which I'm kind of entering into that phase now, coming out of my stint of feature development from the past couple of weeks. So yeah, there's still more for me to learn and stuff, but I feel at least confident enough to tease it, that could be the next thing.
Yeah, it seems interesting. I mean, you and I have talked for sure in the past about how there is still a pretty big gap between you have Stripe and you want to charge money, and there's actually quite a bit of work in between those things. Even though Stripe is great, it's and I could see, especially if you have a static site, it's even greater.
Mm-hmm. I was reacquainting myself again with kind of Stripe's docs yesterday, just doing some planning work, and they actually just revamped their docs site again. It was different when I looked at it yesterday from a couple days prior, I believe. So I think it was a very fresh update. They kind of delineate between client-side only integrations and then client-side that also requires server-side. And the things you can do with the client-side only is extremely limited. So you can put a checkout button, but you can only put certain line items on there, and you can't attach to existing customers, and there's all kinds of limitations around it. And anything else you want to do beyond that, you have to implement basically a server-side part to initiate a checkout session, I think they call it. That's basically, I think, where I see StaticKit falling, serving that role of the server side for doing basically whatever you want. So you give StaticKit some Stripe keys, and then it can handle the server-side initiation part for you. Hopefully make it as smooth as just a client-side only type of setup,
Cool. Yeah, that sounds interesting. We're using that right now, the checkout stuff. So, and it's still a little tricky. I feel like one of the I guess the dangers here is that Stripe will tend to build towards you potentially.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see if there's a lasting kind of gap there that you can make more seamless.
Mm-hmm. I think another interesting part of this too is, kind of doubling down on the declarative configuration thing that I have. So I've been kind of prototyping what the setting up products side of it might look like. So I think Stripe has their API. You can make API calls to create products, and you can click around in their dashboard to create products. But kind of in line with the way StaticKit's configured, I'm looking at like being able to put a payments object in your configuration and say, under my this account, I want these products with these SKUs with these prices. And anytime I deploy, it just ensures that what's in Stripe matches what's in my config file. And then I can, wire things up by the identifier that I use in my config file. So if I call this blue t-shirt, then I can just say this is a checkout button for blue t-shirt, and I don't have to worry about taking the raw product IDs out of Stripe. So just kind of a convenience layer that kind of marries the part that declares like what products should exist in Stripe, and then on the client side, what things should be attached to those products.
Are you expecting that this is sort of like an e-commerce thing as opposed to like a Stripe or like a SaaS pricing page kind of thing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's still kind of a generic convenience layer for wiring up. If you're building a full e-commerce site, you probably don't want to do all this manually. There's better platforms to do that. There's Shopify and WooCommerce and all those. And then there's, I think there are some specific products in the static site realm that are kind of geared towards building out a whole like e-commerce setup. So this is, I think, more for, kind of one-off sales or kicking off subscriptions, for SaaS marketing sites or something.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Do you feel good having a sort of next thing to shoot for?
I think so. Yeah. I'm eager to have more conversations with folks because I've felt like a little bit in, lacking that the last couple of weeks. And so I think that'll help out as well. So yeah, I'll put out a call on here too. If you're building, static sites, work with static sites, I want to talk to you. And I have a Calendly link. I can link it up in the show notes, 20-minute chat, and it helps me out a ton. So yeah, I've emailed the lists, put out the call on Twitter, and getting some calls booked. So
great. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's new with you?
We just announced a feature. We actually shipped it a day or two ago, but we just announced it, which is something people have asked us for a good amount. So I'm pretty excited about, which is the ability to start a Tuple session without sharing your screen. So you can start it if you want just audio or audio plus webcam. And then you can add or remove, either side can add or remove their screen at will, which I'm pretty psyched about. I think it actually increases the utility quite a bit.
Are you expecting people to kind of start using it for just like one-off audio chats and stuff and not necessarily pairing?
They might. I can't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
The best pitch for this to me was like, sometimes you start a pairing session or you're going to pair with someone, but you don't know who's going to drive yet. And so it's nice to just talk for a little bit and then be like, okay, you want to drive? All right, fine, let's do that. And then you share and then you're on your way. It still serves the pairing purpose to me. It makes it better for pairing. It also, I think, makes it more generally useful. So it's kind of a nice win-win there. But we sort of backed into it from the pairing direction, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that reducing kind of the decision-making required up front. Like you don't have to decide whose screen is going to be the dominant one from the get-go. Makes sense.
And then while you're pairing, you might say like, oh, you want to take 5 minutes and just like take a break? You don't want to disconnect the call, but you want to check your email or something. And so you can stop the screen sharing and do something, look at your texts or whatever. So that's cool. That just announced it this morning. I'm curious to see if it does like what it does for usage and also just generally kind of like product market fit, I suppose. It definitely is a more of a step towards the, we're slightly more generic communication tool, which has its pros and cons. It's just like, it's kind of a different thing, but no intention of changing the positioning just yet. It was a surprisingly hard lift, or perhaps surprising, depends, because it was one of those like core assumptions that was baked into the app. There's a screen. There's always a screen. And, someone will always start off by sharing the screen. And it's just like, oh, guess what? One of your core assumptions has been upended.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in like the drip days, you often involved like untangling a bunch of data model or something, which I take it it's not quite the same for you, but more like client-side code integration that expects a screen to be there or something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even fully know because I'm not in it. but I know it was kind of hard. And I think actually, so I've been thinking about this. I think it's actually fine. Like to me, that's not even a symptom of like something went wrong or like we did the wrong thing, because that assumption made the earlier work easier.
Yeah.
And so I think it actually kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, we're like hard coding in some assumptions because it makes this easier. If we succeed and want more flexibility later, we will pay a price down the road. But now we can pay that price because we can sort of see that it's worth it, versus building the flexibility in from the start, which is very tempting, especially as a programmer. Like, oh, what if I want to make this just a generic thing that can connect to any sort of things? Like, it's this, I feel like this is a classic programmer trap. It's nice to sort of realize like what you don't have to build and how you can save time until you have more time and more proof that it's worth doing it, the more generic way.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
I actually did a couple calls with it yesterday with some customers, and it was like, it was a nice option to have. It was nice to just be like, I'm going to start with the audio only, and like, oh, like we're chatting for a little bit, let me turn on my webcam. And so they did that, and like it was good to have sort of unbundled sets of these communication primitives.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You have audio only mode, then webcam only mode, and then screen sharing. Do you have 3?
Those 3 are independent, yeah. So you can have audio or be muted. You can have a webcam or have it off, and you can have screen share or not. And like either side can like add or remove those during a call at will. And it's like I could be talking with you, and then I'm sharing my screen. I could stop. You could start sharing your screen. It might be a big deal. I'm not sure. We'll see. So I talked last week about how we had a big burst in trials. A decent chunk of that sort of bump when we emailed everyone and said, hey, we have a free trial thing has been sort of moved through the conversion point. And our trial conversion rate has gone down a bunch as expected. So like this is like the cohort of people that like were like, I'm not willing to pay for the trial. And then we give them the free trial. And like we actually had a lot of cancellations where people would just say, I tried the app. I think it's awesome. I just don't really have a need for it right now. Like I'm not doing that much pairing, but like I can't wait to try it in the future when I do. We definitely got a lot of people that were just curious. Like they've been kind of following the journey. Maybe they listened to the podcast or they've been on the list for a long time, or both. And they were like, just wanted to see it. And so they try it and they're like, it's cool. Seems like you did a good job, but also bye.
Yeah. No, and that is the trickiest part with doing free trials and especially freemium, which I, for better or worse, have on my product today. So it can be very difficult to know, like, okay, I got 10 people signed up yesterday. How many of those people are actually here for the right reasons,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm sort of not reading too much into this particular cohort just because I know it's kind of a special case. So I don't feel like I really know what our conversion rate is going to be from the new free trial thing. So it's been something like 35% over this cohort recently, but not sure what it's going to look like later. So I don't know. I'm trying to not worry about it. The good news is that the rate of new trials is definitely up a lot still. It's not quite as high as before, but it's still high, much higher than it was when we had a charge for it. That seems positive, and I think that would be a net win for us. I think we basically settled on a pricing page design. And next week I'm going to be working with he who shall not be named because he comes up in every podcast to build out to convert it actually into Tailwind.
Nice.
HTML and CSS. Finally, sometime this month, there will be like a proper, you can sign up for Tuple the way normal people sign up for normal apps most of the time.
Nice.
Yeah. So that might even, I have a hunch that will even, that'll increase the trial rate again, hopefully.
Yeah. Because remind me what the flow looks like today. They put their email address in and then you follow up with them?
And then we immediately email them an invite.
Okay.
But like, not everyone gets, sometimes it goes to spam, sometimes you get distracted by their stuff in your inbox, maybe you weren't interested after all or whatever. So it feels like, oh, it's an extra step where we can very easily lose you.
Yeah.
Versus like, get going, like here you go, like click this thing and then click this thing and now you have a trial.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully that will do good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just another step towards growing up as a SaaS app.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real thing. I think around that time we're gonna like say that we're 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of make that maybe try to make a little bit of a big deal of it. Like it's now fully self-serve and we're 1.0 and hooray. The doors have been thrown open fully. Enjoy.
Yeah. Make it a marketable event.
Hope so. Yeah, that's the goal. Why not, right?
Mm-hmm. Might as well.
We still haven't even been on a product hunt, I think.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or other sites like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So are you going to MicroConf this year?
I am. Yeah, I am stoked that it is in my place of residence.
Yeah, you have to, right? You're basically required by law.
Yeah, there's that too. But
Yeah. Are you going to go to starter or growth?
I think will definitely be around growth, and I might be around starter as well. I haven't decided yet. Travel logistics are not a factor, and I think there's some Tiny Seed sponsorship of Tiny Seed cohort members too. So I think there's very few reasons for me not to be around. I think.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
You know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah.
Got a little pull inside the microconf community.
Mm-hmm. Just a little.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm very glad to see it move out of Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it weren't in April in Minnesota. Like, I had this vision of like, oh man, it's going to be so fun and warm and beautiful. And I was like, wait a minute. No, it's not. It's going to be 40 at most.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little risky. I would say May would have been, a little bit of a safer bet, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Probably way more expensive.
I'm sure it had to be April for a number of logistical reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to suck it up and go anyway, I'm pretty sure. It was the first time where I was kind of like, oh, I kind of had like a hesitation around it, I guess. Partly due to like weather, yeah. And also because, as you and I have talked about before, like I'm not as much a talks person anymore. And so like I would be pumped to go see people, but the talks are like less interesting to me these days. Some of that's just personal. I'm just like kind of burnt out on conference talks. I've done a lot. I've been to a lot. I've been in a dark room with conference talks a lot of times, and I'm kind of a little bit over it.
Mm-hmm. You like asked on Twitter, like who's coming to MicroConf this year? And there was a bunch of activity on there. And I feel like I'm drawing a blank on who exactly, but I feel like there were a number of names of people who were like, oh yeah, it's been a few years since I've been there, but I'm really excited to come this year. Like I feel like there's kind of I feel like a resurgence of energy a little bit.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that like turns out net.
Yeah.
For the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's because it's a pretty big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm excited about the location change too, because I feel like this perhaps might be more conducive to just higher quality extracurricular time. I mean, it's nice and all to walk through casinos and hop on a blackjack table, but I mean, it's not exactly the best. I don't think it's the best environment to talk business and I don't know, mastermind and all that stuff. So I think
it always felt like such a mismatch for like the bootstrapper kind of financially responsible mindset to me.
Yeah.
It was like the most excess sort of debaucherous kind of setting.
Yep.
It's like, aren't these like mostly kind of like responsible nerds?
Yes, I know. It's funny. And walking around, in the vicinity of the hotel, you could always tell who's like a MicroConf attendee versus
They weren't smoking cigarettes and at a slot machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I haven't seen you in person since last MicroConf. Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah, we've kind of been on this annual cadence, which we should probably change. But
well, you should come to Boston in February. It's amazing.
Yeah,
if I'm having a conference, it's called Cold Conf.
Oh man.
Well, maybe it's just a short week. You want to just wrap it?
Yeah. One other anecdote though.
Yeah.
So I upgraded my Mac to Catalina. I think
Oh boy.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. Well, first take. Should I have not done that yet, or do you know anything from working?
Unclear. With the low levels? As a former developer, I tend to avoid at least until there's like a 0.1 release kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like time for people to write blog posts and Stack Overflow articles about how to fix the common things.
It was motivated by I keep getting this notice that I need to reconnect my Google account because it's where I keep my contacts, and my contacts sync up with iMessage so I can see names next to icons, right? And like this thing just wouldn't stop. So then I researched it. There was like a known problem that I believe should have been fixed, but I was on like the latest version before Catalina and it still was not fixed. So I was like, forget it. I'm tired of seeing this notice. And I like disconnected the account, and then it was like impossible to even reconnect it. So all the cached names were gone. So I had like no contacts on my machine, and there appeared to be no way to reconnect my Gmail account. So I decided to upgrade. That fixed that problem. But then actually so far I haven't had any issues, knock on wood. But in Chrome, which was my default browser just because I've been using it forever, the font rendering was jacked up for the system font. and looked, and sure enough, there's a Chromium bug that's being worked on, I think, that's just like, oh yeah, on the new operating system, it's like pulling the wrong San Francisco font, and so the letter spacing is all messed up. And I'm like, I guess too particular about design. Like every website I looked at just looked wrong, So I reluctantly tried out Firefox again, and it's like tough for a developer because you're so used to accessing dev tools and things being in a certain place. And so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to like relearn. If I'm really switching browsers, I'm gonna have to relearn a bunch of stuff. To my surprise, like it's been a very pleasant experience, and I feel like they improved the design a little bit. Like I mean, this is sort of superficial, but like for the longest time, I just felt like Firefox was ugly. Like I just didn't like looking at the menu bar, and like things I just didn't like to see it. I felt like Chrome was better looking, which is a terrible reason to use a browser, but I mean, it's one of the main pieces of UI. So
design matters.
Yeah. So I'm fine with it enough. It's still not as elegant as looking as Chrome, I don't think, but good enough. And it's been performant, and dev tools are pretty awesome, like on par with everything I have in Chrome. So, and it's nice that I'm not being tracked by Google in it anymore. So
yeah,
that's the other pro.
It's interesting. Do you think you'll stay switched over?
I think so. I think I'm going to try to. Yeah.
Interesting. Probably be good for making sure your sites render in non-Chrome browsers too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Catching little bugs.
Yeah. It was always I would occasionally open it up and look at stuff, but probably not as often as I should have. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, I considered doing the Catalina upgrade the other day and just held off. I was like, just a little bit nervous. But our sort of official stance is kind of that we're planning on supporting like the current Mac OS and the one before. So technically, I'm on High Sierra now, which is actually technically unsupported by me.
Oh, funny.
So,
yeah.
I had a bug the other day, and Spencer was like, well, you're on High Sierra, so I don't care. And I was like, oh, damn.
That's hilarious.
Okay. All right. Well, might have to upgrade to at least a Mojave.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to upgrade, I may as well just go all the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
Granted, I haven't tried to run Rails on it yet, so I mean, you might want to.
Oh, it's not allowed anymore. That is fully disallowed. We ran into this thing, surprise. Catalina now has this idea of notarizing apps, which is basically a process where it's like, you used to just be able to sign an app with your app developer ID or whatever it was, and like it would be like, okay, this is legit-ish, or like more legit than if you hadn't, and it displays fewer warnings. And now in Catalina, there's this thing where it's if you don't notarize it, which means you basically send it to Apple, and they scan it for malware, I guess, and then approve it and sign it a different way. Not like a full App Store review. It's actually an automated thing. So it's like, it's on the order of like seconds as opposed to days or something. But this is like not quite a new requirement, but you get all kinds of nasty errors if you don't do it and you look sketchy. So we had to change our deploy process to do this. And that was like a surprise, drop everything, spend one day on this new thing because people were like, what is this? This looks sketchy.
Yeah, yeah. I've noticed there seems to be more, I think they've upped even more like security things around apps.
Yes.
Like I've been getting a bunch of like notifications asking me, do I want to allow different apps to do different things?
Yes,
I never saw before.
That is also a pain for us.
I bet, yeah.
Which is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Like the permissions requesting process is now more involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm realizing like, I think in the future, we probably should be getting on the betas and testing everything out so that we don't have this like, oh, surprise, it's in the wild now. And like, actually this affects us. We didn't realize it did, but it does.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the joys of software maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Can you run like Mac VMs, like, or do you have to have literally machines that are upgraded? I guess you could parallel. Maybe you can like do a parallel operating system thing or something.
Yeah, maybe you could.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if you could do that.
Yeah,
sounds like a thing it's plausible. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, should we wrap it?
Let's do it.
All right. Show notes can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.